What's going on YouTube? R2R Moto here, and today we're on a rather slow demo ride on the BMW 310GS or G310GS. I'm not exactly sure anymore what the name of it is, but it's basically BMW's beginner slash, I guess, low power off-road adventure bike. It's probably geared towards more of the people who want to ride off-road but don't need all the power, or are trying to tour basically and don't want all the power that you would necessarily want out of the bigger CC engines. So a little bit of backstory about myself. Currently I ride a 2015 FZ09. My previous bike before that was a 2015 Honda CBR 300R. So I do have a little bit of experience riding 300 motorcycles, and it feels right at home, back where I left off with the 300 cc's. So if you're thinking about getting this bike for your collection, I definitely would say go for it. Now, with it being a 300 cc motorcycle, the power is a little bit lacking, but honestly the riding this bike is very, very comfortable. So the seat honestly is my favorite part of this bike so far. I do also like the height, but going back to the seat, this seat, it hugs you, like it holds you in, and it is not going to let you go. It is like the best part to me of this motorcycle. Honestly, I wish that I could get this seat for my FZ09, but so it has a little scoop in the back, so you can definitely rest in that little hump, on that hump I should say, and it cradles you. So that's my first thing that I really like about this bike. I also really like the tall seat height. Now, if you're a shorter rider, this probably is not going to be the bike for you. I guess you could get it lowered. Now, I'm 6 foot, and I can flat foot it sort of comfortably. I wouldn't say fully comfortably. I wouldn't say it's not like a sport bike where I can put my feet down, I should say. I can put my feet down and feel 100% comfortable. With this bike, if I'm on a hill or like something more not flat ground, I would have a little bit more trouble, because it is overall a taller bike, because it's an adventure bike, so it's meant to go off-road, go over bumps and things like that. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about it. So with this being a demo ride, I don't really get to, I guess, fully test the bike in a way that I would feel comfortable with it. Now, we are going to go on the highway in a little bit, so we are going to open it up. Right now we are on back roads, and this is my first time ever riding an adventure bike, and so far going over these turns, it feels really good in the turns. I was expecting it to feel a little tall, a little unstable, I guess, coming from never ridden one, like I said, but overall I really do enjoy the position so far. So another thing that I really like about this bike is it's how it looks. Now, at the end of this video, or I might have cut it in at the beginning, but you'll definitely see a walk around of the bike, see what it looks like, because honestly, for the styling, I really do enjoy the way this bike looks. So the one thing so far I'm not liking about this bike is its power from a stop. So I do think this bike, I mean, we're going to go on the highway in a bit, so I can tell you for a fact, but I do think that this bike is lacking somewhat in overall power. So we just left the stoplight back there, and now the people in front of me are obviously on bigger bikes, but this bike, it takes a bit to get off the starting line. Now, obviously, with it being a 300cc bike, that's understandable. I'm a bit of a heavier guy, so it's got to do with my weight too. Also understandable. So I don't say that the power, I shouldn't say that the power is lacking. I should say that if you're a heavier guy, obviously if you're a heavier guy, you know that probably a 300cc is not the way to go for a long-term bike. You're gonna get tired of it pretty soon, because like I said, the power is just not going to be there for you with it, your weight. What is happening today? So the one thing that I'm not really liking about this bike so far is I'm not really liking the handlebars. They're a little bit vibraty. The grips feel kind of non-existent, almost like you're just touching the bar and you got a little bit of contact there with the grips. Now, overall, it's not something terribly bad. It's not something that I would say is a deal breaker with this bike, but it's definitely something that right now riding it, I'm feeling a little iffy about. My really left fingertips, pretty much on my left hand, they're all feeling a little numb, and it doesn't feel good, honestly. So I believe we're about to jump onto the highway, which we're going to test out how this bike feels on the highway with it being a smaller CC. Now, just coming off of the 310R, it was definitely a weird feeling. So I don't know if you guys can hear me, but right now I am topped out, well, not really topped out, but I am in 6th gear, highest gear you can go, going about 72. And overall, the feeling of this bike, and I can definitely handle the highway. Now the windscreen on the front is definitely taking air away from my chest. It's kind of at my neck area. Kind of at my neck area, and like I said before, the handlebars still feel a little vibration. Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad bike for the highway. It definitely doesn't have all the power you would want. It has passing power. I can't really show you that, obviously, because we're on a demo ride, but it definitely has passing power, but you're gonna be topped out trying to do it. It feels a lot better. I know this is going to be an obvious, but it feels a lot better than BMW's 310R, which is their naked bike on the highway. Obviously, because this bike has a windscreen, it's going to feel a lot better. So, I don't know if you guys can hear me on that first highway run, but overall, this bike, if you're taking it for long commutes, I'd probably go with something with a higher amount of CCs. But if you're just doing short commuting to work, and you're just chilling on the highway for short distances, I would definitely say this bike can do that very comfortably. Alright, with all that being said, that was my review of the BMW G310GS, BMW's adventure bike, beginner / low CC level beginner bike. And with that all being said, I'm going to say peace out. See ya.